Welcome back, guys, to Fire Emblem Shadows of Valentia, where, after Arm has committed patricide, regicide, all the sides, we wonder how that will damage his psyche quite severely, as though he has proven victorious, he still has a lot to do. Celica has agreed, hasn't she, to give her soul to Duma, Jedda's task. It's all so wrong. Celica just has to say no. Just say no, kids. But she can't even say that. Well, that done, we head on in to the castle and find out how an army that's just been defeated will feel about its new ruler. Here we go, castle interior. Here we come. I like how Clive's just standing so casually. That's the first thing I like. So these are Regalian soldiers that are standing down. They still got bearing arms. I'd be bearing arms too. I'd be worried. But Clive's just standing there like, we need to get you new uniforms. Something like that.
Long live His Excellency Rudolph II!
Yes! That man. His allegiance. His allegiance.
Welcome home, Prince Albine.
Oh, you calling me Rudolph II? Or was that Rudolph II? And he seems quite happy about it. Why?
Look how far we've come, Alm. In truth, there were times along the way where I often questioned my choices. But now, I do believe them all to have been sound. Thank you, Alm, for being everything I hoped you would be. Enough wool gathering, though. Regale Castle is in sight. Lead us to the end of this wretched war once and for all.
Well, sure. I'm Rudolph II, the one with the normal nose. Now, to be honest, in a cold land, you've got to be red-nosed.
Welcome home, Prince Albine. I am Massena, captain of Emperor Rudolph's Imperial Guard. His Excellency told me everything before facing you in battle. Afterward, I gathered the remnants of his forces and awaited your arrival.
He told you everything? Are you telling me he knew he was going to lose? That he expected to die by his own son's hand?
I am afraid I cannot speak to His Excellency's intentions. I humbly ask that you visit the throne and listen to what Sir Mycen has to say.
Mycen is here?
Well, it was mentioned. Well, the thing is that it's obviously this fact that Rudolph had to hide because he's a bearer of the brand, yada yada. So it's such a weird thing to also make him like your antagonist character, to kind of like be able to put him in a state where he can fulfill his destiny. We know that that's pretty much what's going to have gone on here. But it's still such a roundabout way of going to do things. Why couldn't Rudolph fight against whatever needed to be fighted against himself? Tell us more, people.
I was present when Emperor Rudolph marched on the Temple of Mila. I know the blade he used to seal her power away, the divine falchion, had long been housed in the treasure vaults beneath Duma Tower, though I fear I do not know what became of it after.
Please, my prince, visit the throne and hear what Sir Mycen has to say.
He's wide open. Well, first, I will steal your weaponry, Regale. Oh, wait a second, it's mine now, technically. It's not fun if I'm not stealing it from anyone but myself now. Thievery should only be done by other people. Well, Mycen. Seems you're the closest confidant. You were probably asked to spirit me away and raise me. Is the warrior I become? You knew this would happen? Which is quite cruel. I can only see this going like breaky psyche way. Of course, Arm will get a steely resolve from whatever conversation comes. But this is also how villains are born. Not just heroes. This is also how righteous villains are born. So it's a bit mentally breaking. what's gone on here. He'll live, he'll thrive, but still. Hello, Mycen. Now make sure you've got some cheese around. Is this my new throne, is it? It's a nice throne, really nice. I mean, most thrones are, but still. It's your throne now. It's your throne now.
So you've come, Olm.
Grandfather, what the hell is going on? What are you doing here? Rudolph said I was his son. And now all these people are calling me a prince.
It's only natural that you're feeling confused. But there is no denying fact. You are the only son of Emperor Rudolph, scion of the Regalian imperial bloodline, and true heir to Regel's throne.
How could you? You knew all this time. And yet you kept it from me. You knew. And you still sent me off to kill my own father!
Please remain calm, Olm. Let me explain. Best I start at the very beginning. As you well know, Valentia has always been divided north from south, split between the two gods, Milla and Duma. But their involvement with mankind eventually grew too deep. When madness takes a god, man is lost. And where gods meet ruin, men die too. That is the plight Valentia now faces.
You're saying the gods are dying?
I fear so. Rudolph was among the first to understand the signs. He saw Duma's growing madness and knew it for a harbinger of ruin. But then you were born home.
What does that have to do with any of this?
You bore the brand, sign of the hero who would rise to save Valentia. Hearing that prophecy, Rudolph knew you must be kept hidden from the faithful. He concealed the news of your birth and entrusted you to me and Sophia. I will never forget the pain on his face when he placed you in my arms. That day marked a change in him. He donned the mantle of one who would destroy the old world order. One who'd free men to live by their own power, even if they hated him for it. He knew such heresy would bring forth those who wished for his death. So for that death to come at the hand of his beloved son was a mercy. He told me himself that he could imagine no more peaceful end.
And what of my peace?
This is not the time for mourning or self-pity, boy. Rudolph's purpose now falls to you. The true foe you must defeat is Duma, as well as the zealots tainted by his madness, who seek control of Valentia. Jeddah and his Duma faithful. If you do not hurry, Celica's life will also be in peril.
Oh gods! Celica! She set out in search of Duma in order to save Milla.
A passage beneath this castle leads to the Temple of Duma. Go home. Go and finish this. Return the mad god Duma to the darkness from whence he came.
Mycen joined me. That's an incredibly convenient tunnel. I was wondering how we were going to get past the X's on the map. Obviously they could have just been healed. But, you know, healed. Ground healed. Mycen has joined. Incredible plot convenient tunnel.
His whole story was a lie. Alm's youth, his days of training with Mycen, all were but calculations in a far-reaching plot by his Lord Father, Emperor Rudolph. Alm had taken his father's life, and that sadness would stay with him always. But destiny would not permit this son of the brand to simply walk away. Valentia lay yet in the grip of Duma, the wicked god, the war father, as well as Alm's dear Celica, who would become Duma's willing servant.
She's an idiot. Honestly, it's the only thing I can think of when it says that. All she has to do is say no. She has a group of strong compatriots with her. Yeah, they did get walked away, and Jeddah is somewhat invincible. That were as strong as Arm's army. All she had to do was say no and act with them and not have doubt. Yikes. Yikes. But it makes sense that Arm would stay sad forever in that sense. So why did his father have to die, says the chat? Well, plot device. It neatly cleans things up. It gives Arm a hurdle to overtake and show that he is powerful enough to take on the mantle of what Rudolph had carried for that long in his own plans. Plus being a hero of more than one people's, so that he is a figurehead that has defeated and banished the evil from one land, is already accepted by the land he's come to conquer. He can unite the world as just one figurehead. With Celica as well, he'd be able to unite it even better, reinstating the real royal family of the south, but having great relationships. So, you know, in that sense, the plot isn't so bad. I mean, you literally instate someone as the saviour to everything is always going to go well for the saving of everything. But again, if he was just told it was his father, surely there was a way to defeat him without actually laying a killing blow. Emperor Rudolph I should go down as a hero. Of course, he will be seen as a villain to the south. But to the north, he should go down as probably the hero, the real, true hero of this story. Though one that did it via nefarious and cruel means. But that's war, isn't it? And some of the problems in this world cannot be solved from talking. Which is a real sad thing about humanity and reality. Act 5. Together to the end. We wish we could all solve it with talking, but people are not that rational.
It's not possible. Alm is the Emperor's true son, which makes him the rightful successor to the Imperial throne. All this time, all the effort, what has it all been for? No, it isn't true. It can't be. I refuse to believe it. Nothing but lies. Lies! 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 Is that an altar? How did I get here? What's happening?
Heed me.
Who are you?
Heed me, you who thirst for power. Call to me, accept me unto your soul.
That voice. Duma? Is it really you? What?
Lord Berkut!
Renea.
I've been looking all over for you. This is the last place I would have expected to find you. You always hated the faithful, after all.
This is true. But then I had the throne snatched from under me by some magical heir. Plying the gods' mercies is what men do in hopeless situations. Is it not?
I didn't mean... Forgive me. I shouldn't have said anything. Please don't despair so. Ohm seems a kind and generous man. I'm certain he'll treat you fair.
And I'm to be content with that? I wanted to beat him, Renea. To dispatch him and claim the throne. I wanted to make you my empress. And hold all Valentia in our palms together. But what of those dreams now? Even Raquel alone is now forever beyond my grasp. So I'm to live in this Alm's shadow? Throw myself upon his mercy? I would sooner an honorable death at the executioner's blade.
Berkut! You mustn't say such things. I never... The truth is, I never wanted to be empress.
What?
To stand at your side is all I've ever desired. I don't care if you're the emperor or a swineherd, so long as we... Berkut?
You too, Renea?
What?
Were you laughing along with them? Rudolph, Massena, and all the rest? Watching me toil away while you knew I would never become emperor? Was every kind word part of the act? Every smile an act of pity?
Berkut, you're frightening me.
Duma. Oh, ancient god, I call out to you now. Grant me the power to set this land to ruin, for good and all. Take of me what price you will. I care not anymore. Lord Berkut! Lord Berkut? Who are you? What have you done to Lady Renea?
Grandfather, what's this door?
It leads to the altar beneath Duma Tower. But know that it is a path not easily returned from. Prepare well before you enter.
Prepare well before I enter, you say. Well, was that Renea's soul stripped from her body, turned to flame? Was Fernand just killed by the possessed Berkut, insane with his desire to rule? And just to beat Arm? Why? Why? His own arrogance is his downfall, of course.
A moment, Prince Albine. I ask that you show Lord Berkut compassion. He weighed heavy on Emperor Rudolph's mind for many years. The Emperor knew that keeping the boy in ignorance could only bring him pain. And yet, the prospect of your being discovered was too great a risk. Still, Berkut was his nephew, and the same age as the son he parted with. So I beg leniency of you, if only to respect Emperor Rudolph's wishes.
Yeah, I don't see us being all good and proper. Trust me on that. I'll take the memory prism in the meantime. I think he sealed his own fate. There's one creepy looking door. It's got eyes! Nothing else to gain here. So when it says prepare well and that there is not much coming back, the one thing I want, I mean technically, is to see if there's a smithy. I hadn't seen anyone. Mind you, Zeke seems to be probably have a great conversation to have about all this situation, considering we just killed his liege lord even though he joined up with me. Now he knows.
Where am I from? Alas, I know not. Though what use is wondering? Some have speculated I'm from another continent, called Arcanea. But as I have said, I prefer to let the past be in the past. If I think on it overlong, my heart begins to ache. I fear whatever I left behind could not have been pleasant, save for one memory. Apologies. I must let it rest. I have Tatiana's feelings to consider.
Sure. Too busy listening to extremely loud violin music. Now here's a question. Are there any dragons in my way? Good. There are no dragons in this man's way. There are no dragons indeed. Now I can go to the smithy and see what I can make. Make.
Welcome.
It's never bad to kind of try to boost some power, some people some more, is it? Is it? Some argue. I should probably like actually give out some of these at this point in time. I've got tons of them after all. Fortunately, there were no dragon scales for me to get. We don't really need anything more than the brave sword. I can't get the royal sword leveled up to its full power. Some would argue I probably don't need to. Unless I were to sell some stuff for some random silver coins. Which, to be honest, I do have like swords aside. What was the thing we were gonna do? We got ourselves a silver bow, didn't we? No, don't trade that in. Trade in the steel bow. I mean, technically at this point I've kind of got a fair few duplicates of weapons that I don't actually need. I mean, I guess there are future chances to try and make something different. Five. I mean, there's a killer bow upgrade there. Which I think would be a good choice to make. And then put that on you, sir. I'll let you go to work from there. How much do I have to upgrade a single silver bow to get it to killer? Just once. Aha. Right, trading the range for that hit and critical power. We're hoping that Python, Cobra, whatever his name is, Snake Man, can do what he needs to do now. Now, apart from that, if I want to power up arms weapons some more, which again, I'm not really sure I need to do, I would need to trade in some more stuff. A ton of drinking water. Too bad it's only 2 copper coins. Got some cheese, got some honey. Call him Ekans, yeah. Snake Man. To be honest, if that's the case, I won't upgrade arms weapons some more. I think it's good enough as is. He loses 2 MT, he loses a little bit of hit rating, but to be honest, it's probably better to upgrade someone who could gain a little bit more from it. So with that, it's either going to be actually, I'd rather upgrade Claire. Adding 2 attack power onto her seems pretty good. So we need to make the trade-ins to do that. Blessed bow's nice and all, I guess. Bonework or oil trades in for a bit. I'm not using a billion shields at this point. It's a pretty good shield when you look at it. If I trade in another steel shield then. And I've got to give Mycen a weapon as well, think about it. Probably already threw the coot with that one. A little bit. Of course we only ever think about powering up the super units. No one else. For some reason, we just make the super units more and more powerful. Hey, she doesn't even appear on the list anymore. X-Lock could be good on many people. There's not many people who can just use just gold to level up their gear. Which is a bit of a shame.
Many thanks.
Many thanks to yourself. So with that said, we gain a little bit of extra power. Just from skipping back a little bit. And the other thing we wanted... the killer bow. I think you're the weight you already are taking on you is already 4 weights, so you don't lose much there. You gain hit and critical that you didn't have. That's not a bad trade. And a little bit more power. Trying to make you a little bit more usable as our main archer of the duo. Well, I'm expecting there to be a Mila statue coming up. Because it would make sense there would be. But we're finally about to move forward.
Oh, can I help you? I seem down? Yes, well I suppose I have been ruminating a bit. It's just... what if Zeke's memory somehow comes back? What if he remembers he has another family or another lover? Of course, it would only be right if he returned to her in such a case. But I must be a selfish, awful person, because I don't want him to remember. What the gods must think of a sinful servant like me.
You just love someone. What's wrong with that? That said, Renee just loves someone. That didn't go too well. Thinking about it. A pure girl who just wanted to be with her man. Or her partner. And look how that went. Yikes.
It leads to the altar beneath Duma Tower. But know that it is a path not easily returned from.
There's no turning back beyond this point. Are you prepared? Well, I'm actually kind of a bit narked that I'm not being given... like, Celica's army? I kind of want Celica's army. Do you know what I mean? But I think I must be prepared.
Blast it all! This place is crawling with terrors. So much for be gone to wherever you will, you damn useless priest!
And what is that supposed to mean? You're not actually thinking of leaving Celica in there and running away.
Did you hear me say anything about running away? Give me some credit here, you little snot. Stop flapping your jaws and focus on the fight. I'd prefer not to die here, if it's all the same to you two fools.
Oh, hi, Mark. There he is. Ah. A dungeone, eh? Only 10 may enter. Which means that, bye everyone. It was nice knowing you all. But yeah, kind of like, screw you now, really, basically. Should we take Python in? Lucas and that are getting near to promote if they can again. Cliff is always just useful. What else? Of course, Forsyth. Take our major armor squad. Faye, Tatiana, or Silk? Tatiana has Warp. Warp is very useful. I mean, Silk has Warp. Warp is very useful. Tatiana has Fortify. Fortify is ridiculous. She might learn more. Right. Fade with the coral ring for extra res there. Silver lance on you, Matilda. I think that's the squad I'm going to go with. I mean, the only other one I'd probably want to move in is Zeke versus Python. But then I think I've got a fair amount of melee in the party anyway, so an extra ranged is not bad. Thing is, I do lose Tobin's ward arrow. Ugh. But then we've got Claire to try and assassinate. And we still got assassinate plus rescue combo here. Yeah, I'd say we're going with Tatiana, weirdly enough, rather than Silk. Just because of that fortify. We have Delphia, we win. Oh yeah, that's true. Maybe I should stop overthinking things, yeah? Time for the talking.
Whatever lies at the end of these corridors possesses a frightful aura. It sets the hairs on the back of my neck on end. The lord of this temple awaits. And here I am, terrified of him. But we must press on, if we are to put an end to this long war.
The final act it doth begin with an exit to the corridor.
Hold up, everyone.
What is it, Alm?
Someone's coming. It's Fernand.
What?
That voice. Clive.
Fernand! Gods, what's happened to you?
Spare me your pity. I've none to blame for this but myself. Such trivialities matter not at this point. But you made it here. Then you truly intend to slay Duma?
We do. For it was Emperor Rudolph's dying request.
I see. Then he must have known of Duma's madness.
Duma is mad?
Oh yes. Duma is a god no longer. Merely an incarnation of the lust for power. You there? Yeah? That's me. Listen well. You must beware of Berkut. He's no longer... Fernand! Please, stop Duma. I know I've no right to ask anything of you. But I beg it of you regardless. You're the only one who can end this. Let no one else be tainted by his madness. Let this tragedy end. I will. I swear, I will lay Duma to rest. Then I leave it to you.
Fernand, are you all right?
Strange, isn't it? Me, begging boons of you.
Not in the least. I still count myself among your friends.
You always were too nice for your own good. Always so quick to pardon me. Along the way, I forgot how to ask for forgiveness.
Fernand, please.
I knew. I always knew. None of my misfortunes were anyone else's fault. Yet if the world is rotten, then who permitted it to be so? It's me. And no one else. I took anger better aimed at myself, and turned it on the defenseless masses. I failed my duty as a nobleman.
Enough, Fernand. You've suffered enough. You needn't flog yourself any further.
Good. I am rather tired. Tired of despair. Tired of rage. But Clive, I'm glad I got to see you one last time. You were right. You chose the right king. You always were the friend I was proudest to.
Fernand? Fernand, no. Don't do this. Look at me, Fernand. Fernand!
I simply won't accept this, Fernand. I insist you wake up this instant. We're all returning to Sophia together. Fernand? Fernand, say something!
He's gone, Claire. He's gone.
No. Oh, Fernand.
Are you two going to be all right? Yes. Grief will have its day, but it will not be this one. Right now, let us do what we must. Lead the way, Alm. All right. Fernand, I wish I could have fought beside you in the army you created. At least now your fight is over. Farewell.
It's a bizarreness to that. Of course, everyone in chat was going, why didn't they just heal him? Of course, he probably had more grievous wounds than anyone could, because the first thing anyone would do as a healer, they would try to heal. Unless, like, obviously someone was too far gone. They'd probably still have tried to heal in the meantime anyway. He was obviously too far gone. There's cases of that in many things where there's a fix-all function. That just reminded me, actually, there's a memory to read before I even examined this memory. So let's take the memory prism. I won't know which one's first now. Let's go into the menu, where I can't see them just yet, but I will be able to in the future. I just completely forgot to view it when we picked up the other one, which is probably Rudolph's memory. Well, we can only keep heading down the corridor. It's really easy to go back, by the way. As Fernandez passed on. If there's not a statue of Mila up ahead, then I'd be amazed. There's got to be based on just general game design. Oh man! I forgot which buttons to attack. I pressed lots of buttons, and none of them attacked. That said, the troop we're facing isn't exactly the strongest in the world. The ones we always have to watch out for are the Duma faithful over here, but again, they're not very strong. What's with that? Well, swamp scares all around. Squares, even. Swamp scares, watch out for them. A troop that can only basically reach... Ah, you can reach a bit further, can't you, sir? Essentially, we want someone nestled in that bit there to be able to take some attacks in a second. We kind of don't want it to be you armed to take all of them. But again, you actually have the defense to be able to tank that guy with not a single issue. So with that, I say, let them come.
All right, let's go.
As for this side,
Nothing will stop me.
we move Claire over here with Matilda to cover. This is the assassination squad for the mages. The others are just miasma. No, there's a Maya and a fortifier. A Maya and a fortifier. This guy can't reach us this turn. This one's the only one we have to worry about in any other regard.
Stand aside!
Stand aside. Technically, we want them at maximum range. So if I put you into there, sir, he might walk into the other thing, but Delphia's going to nuke the ever-loving bejesus out of him. Could have put Python in, actually, in that slot, really. And let Python had a ping-pong battle.
Allow me.
Wouldn't have been a bad idea, would it?
Just leave it to me.
There's no other abilities to use on this turn, so it's just let them come. What's with the music? They've got enemy music? 2 damage.
Take this! Success!
Good job, Am. They're not the strongest enemies ever. That's what we've learnt so far. We have the other Maya mage is cowering over there, which is quite an interesting choice, really.
Watch me go.
Let's start the destruction of our enemies, eh?